For a lot of people, the kitchen ends up being the most boring room in the house, which is not surprising because most of us prioritize functionality over style when it comes to kitchen. So naturally, it is usually the last place we think about decorating or trying to make cozy. And if that sounds like you, well, you are not alone. When I take a look at images of kitchens, like real lived-in ones, not a designer kitchen, most of them look very plain. You sort of feel like something's missing. And in my opinion, that something is character and personal style. And this is unfortunately the common thread in most kitchens. Many people don't even know where to start or what would actually make a difference. And that is where a few simple tips and small ideas can really help. So let me show you some very cool examples. Okay. The first thing that you can do is to make the space truly yours. Often we let our space feel empty or impersonal, like they have no character. So the key is to bring more of you into your space. Take this kitchen corner, for example. It's interesting for a lot of reasons. One thing I love is how they have turned a simple corner near the kitchen into a cozy dining area. It's a great idea, especially if you live in a small house or apartment and want to connect the kitchen and living areas. And it doesn't need to be fancy. No tiles, no taps, no dramas, nothing over the top. What really made this space stand out to me was the personal touches. Like, look at the family photo here. It is large and eye-catching, and it adds both color and personality to the space. They have even pulled colors from the photo, like pink and blue, and carry them into the fabrics, which help tie everything together. The little knickknacks and personal belongings scattered around have also added more charm to the space, if I will. Next, this little kitchen here, it is beautiful, it is moody, it's got a thoughtful mix of style and function. It is something between a breakfast nook and a compact kitchen. The muted pink walls give off such a cozy, welcome vibe, and the built-in bench seating is a clever touch because it doubles as a comfy dining nook and a perfect spot to chill, soak up the view, and just relax. But I think the standout feature for me is the sconces. They give off a cozy vibe that makes this space feel super inviting and relaxed. The chevron flooring and mix of textures like the shiplap wall add so much depth to the kitchen. The design feels bold and a bit audacious. I like it. Okay, this kitchen is my absolute favorite. Like, the use of colors and patterns is masterfully done. I love it when people play with patterns. I think it's such a clever and beautiful way to bring variety and inject some interest into space. And the color red. Alright, too much of color red, of course, can be overwhelming, but when used moderately and intentionally, red creates such a lovely effect. Most people are afraid of using red in their homes, which I get. It actually can be very intimidating, even for professionals, because it is very easy to overwhelm space with red. But adding a little here and there can make a big positive impact. I love red, and I really admire people who are brave enough to bring red in their space. Like here, the whole door is red, but they have paired it beautifully with the skirt curtain and a bit of window furnishings and that shelf. The tiles, or maybe it's wallpaper, I cannot tell, create this lovely backdrop, and the blue china pieces with their contrasting color and gorgeous patterns add extra visual touch, and there is no need for anything more. Then we have this casual European style kitchen. It's decorated with everyday items. Look, they have even added books. Nothing over the top or unnecessary, just simple and beautiful. The kitchen, after all, is a room we spend so much time in. If there is a place to sit, why not add some entertainment? Alright, move on to the next one. Oh, this kitchen has a similar vibe. That little table next to the window works as extra workspace. Not sure why they need it with that massive table in the middle though. Alright, no worries, I'm not here to judge. But it's a great idea if you've got a small kitchen. It doesn't have to cost much. Just grab something secondhand off Marketplace. If your kitchen gets natural light like this one, make the most of it. There is nothing better than good light to keep you happy in the kitchen, whether it's natural or artificial. That shelf on the window is so clever because it provides extra storage without blocking the light, and the glass keep it nice and open. Same here, we got a kitchen full of character and personal touches. Honestly, I think a kitchen should be treated like any other room. Like, it deserves it. Guys, if I were a kitchen, I'd be pretty upset. And as a matter of fact, I would get really offended if I was treated differently. It's just not fair. So don't do that to me. Sure, there is water and grease in the kitchen, but not everywhere. So why not have some fun with our decor? Like, look at this, the curtain, the lighting, the frames, flowers. They have even got a dressing cabinet doubling as a display shelf. It is such a cozy and creative setup. A very easy trick is to bring the colors from the rest of the space into the kitchen. Look how tiles and the lights above the bench match the furniture and especially the sofa. The color choice is actually spot on. They have gone for analogous colors like yellow, oranges, and browns. It gives variety, which is interesting to the eye, but without any clashing. This kitchen is kind of similar, like the yellow from the bookshelf and probably the other furnishings around the house that are not in the picture get extended into the kitchen. But here we've got a contrast. I mean, yellow on the white background. So whatever color you choose, it just needs to be something different and unexpected to create interest. But it doesn't have to be bold or right in your face. Okay, speaking of contrast, sometimes depending on your taste, you don't even need to bring in a bunch of different colors. Like black and white can also create a beautiful decor. Okay, don't mind the size of this one. It's not like we all have huge kitchens, but the idea is that it feels like a nice living space. They have used wall lights, plates, frames, tiles, all in brown, black, and white, which is nice to stick to a simple color palette, but still adding a variety of different patterns, fabrics, materials, and textures. The materiality is really what makes this space work. Here's another great example of how you can bring some interest and fun into your kitchen. The upholstery and tiles here add texture and color without overwhelming the space that I really love it. They set the tone and create a playful but a sort of balanced vibe. Then they have added another layer which is lighter. The frames and the wall light are working together and add that extra bit of drama. I absolutely love it because they make the space feel more dynamic and layered. Creating this kind of look may seem easy, but it actually requires a bit of mastery because you need to know how to balance different patterns, materials, and colors so they complement each other rather than clash. You should pay attention to details to bring everything together in a cohesive way. Okay, let's be fair. The tiles here are doing the heavy lifting. They are super interesting. The color on the cabinets is bold and brave, and the contrasting colors are on spot without being too much. Personally, I would throw a few things on the countertop to create more of a scene or some sort of dialogue. Maybe some cutting boards or pottery. Then we see that the dark wood runs through the whole kitchen from the countertop to the shelves and even the crockery, which ties everything together and adds a warm, cohesive feel to the space. Same here, the tiles and wooden cabinets have set the tone. They have created a retro vibe here. Adding the rock, I think, was a clever choice. It really adds to the overall vibe and pulls everything together. So this kitchen is telling a story, especially with the kitchenware on display. This feels like a lived-in, functional space, not just a lifeless magazine photo. So I'd give it a 10 out of 10. Quite the opposite. The white walls here act as perfect canvas for adding different colors. But believe it or not, it is not easy to throw in all sorts of colors and still create something that feels right. It takes a bit of practice, but what the hell, do whatever you want and feels right to you. The blue cabinets are lovely, and those 2 little shelves, they are ideal for keepsakes or just adding a bit of personality. And please forget that kitchen only mentality and bring a bit of the rest of the house in the kitchen. Like here they have got candles, bottles, pictures, and that cute striped table lamp that adds pops of red and a playful vibe. The bottles and painting over the sink are brilliant choices, and altogether They have created a kitchen full of character. It's light, it's fun, and it's very welcoming. Like this next one here, such a cozy and homey vibe. It's got that cottagecore feel that has become trendy over the past couple years with all the traditional touches. This looks like a mix of the country and Mediterranean style to me, but it really doesn't matter. I don't want to talk about and focus too much on specific styles here. Like personally, I don't like to limit myself to one style, and that is why I try and showcase a variety of styles through the images in my videos to sort of spark ideas and inspire you to bring some of their elements into your decor regardless of the style. That is how you create something personal, something that doesn't follow rules or trends, but it still feels uniquely yours. I will forever with my content encourage you to stop stressing about trends and focus on adding personality and character to your home. Alright, back to the photo. That skirt curtain under the counter is such a standout. It's sweet and it softens the look of the cabinets. Not everybody's cup of tea, a bit old-fashioned in the best way, I think, but I'm into it. I think it is a fun way to bring in some colors and patterns, and it's affordable too, so why not? The little rug brings this splash of color, and the lamp, the framed artwork and plants, they all add so much character. Look, in this kitchen, materials talk loud, like wood, stone, fabric. They're all working together to create a lived-in and effortlessly charming kitchen. Okay, this one, I think recreating a retro kitchen, and I mean borrowing features from old style houses, particularly in the 60s and 70s, also is a good way to bring a cozy vibe into the kitchen. I am a big fan of the warm colors in that era, and mixing them with fun patterns just works so well. Like the specific green color on the cabinetry and the tiles with dark grout, the wooden countertop and timber Venetian blind, some open shelving with pots and glasses and display. I mean, what could get any more beautiful and cozy? Another favorite of mine. This corner is beautiful and full of light, and if you don't mind a busy countertop, this is a good inspiration for decorating. Personally, I find it a bit too busy with multiple vases and flowers. Not that I don't like it. Like, I'm all for plants and flowers in the kitchen, but if I don't have enough countertop space to work, I go crazy. Like, I need a free and functional space when I'm preparing food. No juggling stuff. Not for me. But that aside, everything else works. I love how the wood panels on the walls pair with the pattern tiles. I mean, such a classic European aesthetic. The framed artwork and light fixture are stunning details that really enhance and sort of enrich the space. How they have hung the utensils on the wall, it's both decorative and functional, and they add warmth that tie in beautifully with the beige cabinets and the hardware. They have created this charming and very welcoming corner here, which is full of character and very beautiful. Okay, a question for you. If you rented this space, what would you add to make it beautiful? Think about it. Let me help you. The tiles are already stunning and they're bringing so much color into this space. Then you've got the warm wood tones of the cabinets, which are paired with this stone. Such a beautiful combo. But then check out how they added just a couple of little lights on the wall, a pendant, a vase, and 2 picture frames, all in matching colors. So with just a few minimal details, they have created a space full of personality. Don't you agree? Wow, that sounded very confident. Okay, let me know what you think. Okay, look, we've got a similar situation here in this photo. The tiles are so beautiful on their own, but adding little touches like introducing a complementary color, it has completely changed the vibe of the kitchen. This little corner has just the right amount of drama, and it's perfect. Oh, and can we talk about the mirror? Who else loves checking themselves out in the mirror, even in the kitchen? Hands up. I think it's a great idea. Whoever did it, I have to do it in my kitchen. I absolutely love it. All right, there. Look, In kitchens where the design itself is already beautiful, you don't need to do too much. A nice rug most of the time can really finish off the look. Like this image, the rug and wall lights do a great job of filling the gaps. Now, unlike this busy kitchen where tiles do the heavy lifting, this next one feels a bit empty. Like it doesn't have a hero feature to sort of save it. So they have decorated this little corner with just a few personal touches. The ceiling light frames, vases, plus the rug, and look at. Of course, the abundance of countertop space, as in the island, makes it more functional, but the real takeaway is that even without the vases, just adding the rug and picture frames to this open spot brought this space to life. So remember, this is just an inspiration. I'm only focusing on this little section. There are kitchens where you can't do so much because there is not enough space to hang things on the walls or add decor to the countertop, especially in kitchens with upper cabinets. And that is where a rug can really make all the difference and elevate the look. And this image is a perfect example of that. Here they have used blue and brown as the main colors, then added a rug that is stunning and feels intentional. As a result, this kitchen feels very comfortable and homey compared to this kitchen. And it's not about how much space you have, but how you inject personality into it. This kitchen, again, is full of character, and that is why I chose it. I love the lights. They're dramatic and used cleverly to match the industrial vibe of the stainless steel cabinets. But that industrial feel then is softened with personal belongings. Things like vases, frames, containers, food-related or even unrelated keepsakes on display. Well, it's cozy, it's beautiful, but even without them, the gorgeous marble and tiles would have been enough to make the kitchen charming. But adding those extra details makes the space feel more personal, and you need this approach, especially if your kitchen's design lacks this given beauty. Like this one, for example. The kitchen itself doesn't have much to show off, but check out the decoration. They have even placed a cabinet, which I assume is secondhand painted and upcycled, on top of the fridge to create extra storage. It's a creative touch and a perfect example of adding your personal flair and create a very unique to your kitchen. Alright, when I talk about unique character, I really want you to look for the flaws in your kitchen and see them as opportunity to get creative, because believe it or not, it is those beautiful or even imperfect things that make a space stand out from the rest. So use them to your advantage and create the vibe that you want. Like in an old kitchen, you might think it is boring, but if you decorate it in a way that looks like this, it transforms. Here, they have created a cozy kitchen with a vintage vibe full of character. They're using earthy greens, warm woods, and bold patterns. They have painted the cabinets and trims in a green that goes perfectly with the red and black checkered tiles. This is a great example that shows if you don't have a set of matching chairs, for example, embrace it. The mismatched wooden chairs and layered tablecloths have brought a lived-in and eclectic feel. I also picked this photo because it seems like people have forgotten about tablecloths and how beautifully they can add character and charm to a kitchen. Personal touches like tablecloth here, framed art, fresh flowers, and vintage accessories, they bring warmth and make the kitchen incredibly inviting. Then it doesn't feel like just a place for chores, it feels like a natural extension of your life. Overall, if you're still confused, maybe start with a sitting area if you have the space. Then layer in your personal touches, like putting your kitchenware on display. Add lighting, frames, flowers, colors, bring in texture. And when you run out of ideas, check back with this video for inspiration from the photos. See what others have done, because as unique as our challenges are, they are often more common than we think. You can find tons of ideas on Pinterest. I've dedicated boards for each room in the house, so feel free to check them out. They can be a great source of inspiration as well. Remember, the kitchen is just another room in your home. The best and most beautiful decor is the one that has loads of personality, and I mean your personal touches. Okay, try out these ideas and share your own in the comments. I would love to hear how you would bring your personality into your kitchen. Feel free to share this with anyone who needs some kitchen inspiration, and don't forget to like and subscribe and give me your feedback, questions, etc. And thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.